Heidi Hartwig, photographer, director, and founder of Friends from New York. This is In Conversation, a series with the people who make New York, New York. Everybody wants a friend from New York. This is where you'll meet them.
Well, I'm Masoud Semple. That's how my mom would refer to me as, Masoud Semple. Also DJ MOS. Okay. MOS is my initials, so it's Masoud Obana Semple.
Gorgeous name.
Yeah.
And you was a Queens boy.
Yeah, I was born in Queens. Was born in Brooklyn, but grew up in Queens. Lived in Queens till I was like 8 or 9. South Side Jamaica, 161st Street.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was actually my introduction to just music and hip hop,
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's what I want to know. Like
the
was
first
it
time
in your household or where did you even
my parents
see a
are
DJ?
My parents are from Guyana, in South America. My dad was heavily into jazz music and my dad loved yacht rock. We and Doobie Brothers and that kind of thing. So, but also we listened to soca and all that. So it's like my dad was. So they put me in piano lessons. So I played classical piano.
Beautiful.
As a kid. So the music was like a big influence on me when I was younger. But my parents weren't into hip hop, obviously. But I remember hearing kids across the street playing Sucka MCs on like a boombox.
Oh shit!
When I was because I lived at my grandmother's house, and I remember looking outside and hearing the Sucka MCs and being like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Just kind of enthralled by this music. And then I saw Run-DMC on Reading Rainbow, and I was "These are my." Do you remember that episode? I was like, "These are the coolest guys I've ever seen."
And is that just it? Then what? You went and got the record, the tape?
No, I was like, no.
The radio? What did you do then?
I mean, I went to this school called United Nations International School because my dad was part of the UN, was in the UN.
Yeah.
So the kids on the bus would just be rapping like Big Daddy Kane and I just learned the lyrics through the kids. I had never even heard the record. They were just rapping it on the bus, and so that kind of was my introduction to hip hop. But I didn't really start buying records and buying till I probably moved to White Plains. I moved to White Plains, and I got my first heavy D tape.
Okay.
I
love those first tapes we get in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of my younger cousins lived with my grandmother, and she was really into new shoes and Keith Sweat and then she'd have D Train records. So and I would listen to radio also a lot. So I'd listen to whatever's playing on pop radio. So it'd be Billy Ocean and but again, music was so I remember being just obsessed with all things music.
Amazing.
That's kind of my thing. I was just listening to everything,
And so, what did you inherit from the city then? Did you get to go to a party? Did you get to come to the city? Did you get to what happened?
I was 8 or 9 years old, so I wasn't
right.
really...
But I'm saying, so jumping ahead, of course.
But jumping ahead, once I moved to White Plains and I kind of grew up,
What happened?
I was in high school. And I remember listening to Funkmaster Flex on the radio. And I was I have to go to the tunnel. I was I have to go to this thing. And I'm the type of kid that I get obsessed with certain things, I just have to do them. I'm just gonna find a way to make it happen. So I remember learning how to chalk my ID, and I snuck out of my parents' house on it was on a Saturday.
I think it was right. It was the Funk Flex party at the tunnel was yes.
Well, listen. The Sunday party took me a couple. I didn't go to the Sunday party till maybe 2 years later. But my first time going to the tunnel, I went on a Saturday night because I figured, well, if he's there on Sunday, then maybe he's there on Saturday. That's my logic. And also, it was Sunday. Sunday was okay, if I get back, I'm probably going to miss school, and I'll literally be grounded for the rest of my life. So I went on a Saturday night, took the train down from White Plains. I knew I couldn't get back because there's the last train coming back in Grand Central is 1 a.m. So I was look, I'm not getting, and the next one was at 5. So I'm I will be home at 6 o'clock, or 6 a.m. on the dot. And my parents were going to get up to 8 or 9. So I'm
you had it planned.
Yeah, so I knew that if I didn't get into this club, I'm stuck in Manhattan for the rest of the night.
The rest of the night.
Yeah,
riding the train around.
So I was I'm getting in. So I snuck out, went to the tunnel, got in.
You did? Oh,
I got in.
What was that? Was there a crowd?
It was crazy? It was a Saturday. I was nervous, but really excited because I was okay. But I mean, hopefully I get in. But once I got in, I was oh my God, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And back in the day, the tunnel was it's going into I don't know, it's like going to it's like a huge warehouse.
Yeah.
With
huge.
multiple rooms and just like, so I just would walk, I just explored the entire place. So the main floor was like house music. I think it was like Jonathan Peters, those type of guys playing. And then downstairs was the hip hop. The library had played hip hop.
Okay.
And it was like DJ Riz, Scissor Hands, those guys. And it was the most, I just was transfixed with the I was just so like, I was obsessed with the DJs.
Yeah.
Like I would sit there and watch them play and just be like,
Did you dance?
Yeah, I danced.
You danced?
Yeah. I had my first Long Island iced tea.
That was so fucking Drake
at
when
15,
we were...
like having one Long Island iced tea, you're good for the entire night.
You're like on the floor.
Yeah, literally.
Essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
And you made it home in time? Did you catch the one or you catch the 5? What?
No. I caught the 5 always.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And I got home on time. And listen, I used to leave the back, the door to my deck open so I could just like slip in. But sometimes I guess someone would get up in the middle of the night and seats open and lock it. So I'd have to either like, one time one of the windows was open. I had to climb through a window through my house to get in.
Oh my God, you're so bad.
But I never got caught.
Aw, Mom, I'm sorry. The truth comes out.
But that was kind of like my intro to club culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Club
These
culture.
are your first rooms. So where do you go from there? Where do you even get this idea that you're like, yo, I can do that?
Once I get obsessed with something, it's like I have to do it. So like, I was like, all right, I need turntables. So
Where'd you get those techniques?
A friend of mine, this kid I played basketball with at the local park, he had a pair of turntables in a mixer. He had a Gemini mixer. It was like a Gemini turntable and like an old technique that were like, you picked it up like this, it would just get to the end, it would just stop and go like this.
Right, totally.
Yeah, but it had the S-shaped like arms, so I was like, it must be cool.
So what the hell?
So I bought it off for like $40, and then I had to figure out how to set it up.
Right. You took it home. You're like,
again, I was a very technical kid. Like,
right.
I went to school, University of Maryland for engineering. So like, I was always.
He's no dummy.
Yeah, I had like a Nintendo and all that. I knew how to plug in wires.
I knew how to blew my Nintendo game to go and play and make them go.
No, but I could like set it up to own any television.
But still,
and
like
stuff. So,
it's not easy. And what do you do? Like,
so it had like a Sony boombox, and like it had a microphone jack and a headphone jack. I was like, okay, this is the master. If I could plug the master into the headphones,
right?
Into the microphone jack, it should come out the speakers.
Duh.
But they're good, like of course. And it did.
Right. And so what'd you do then? You had to find record stores?
Yeah, there's a record store in White Plains called, was it called Music Plus, I think?
Cute.
There's one called Music Plus. So I used to go there and buy records. And then I found out about Rock and Soul in Manhattan.
Okay.
So I used to go to early Rock and Soul. And then, over time, like, I started meeting like friends that DJ'd. Like I remember DJ Sus1 was like the big DJ in our area because he was in high school as well, but he had all the records and all that stuff. And then one of my friends who lived around the corner from me, Corey C.L. Llewellyn, he's like who founded DigiWax.
Okay.
He was interning at Uptown Records, so that was a big deal for us. Like one of our friends like was working at Uptown, so he would just give me like promo vinyl. So I would get like Mary J. Blige's like promo album, like all those promo singles, Lil Sean.
Wow.
Dom Perignon.
Oh my God. So you had all these records. So then you were like, yo, I'm
so
ready
I'm just
for big time.
so I'm in there like practicing. And like my little brother and sister, like, would come in.
Dancing around the room.
Yeah. On everything. So that's exactly what happened. Like I got to have like a little black light and pretend have a little club in my room and then, play.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. So I would do that. I would record little tapes and play for my friends. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's kind of like how I kind of got started and started accumulating records. But I only did like one or two parties like for like friends.
Okay.
But I wasn't like doing like clubs or parties like that.
Okay.
Then I ended up going to college, and my parents were like, "Look, you're not bringing your turntables with you to college." Like, so that kind of was a bummer. But my RA on my freshman year, he actually had a radio show with Peter Rosenberg in New York. Before they came, because Peter Rosenberg also went to Maryland to my school.
Okay.
But they used to be on the radio in New York, and he's a DJ, so he had his turntables in his room on my floor. So I was just in there every day, like playing on them. So that kind of like, honed my skills during that period.
Right.
And then after I dropped out of school, came back home, and I was like looking for a job, and I decided why not just DJ?
Right.
In local bars.
Okay, so who did you approach to do that, or like where the hell were you going?
I just started buying. I was working as a bartender at City Limits in the Westchester Mall. It's a diner.
Okay,
and I would just take my money. I would just go down to Rock and Soul and just buy everything.
Right,
I could just getting records, and then making tapes, and like giving them out.
The tape game, man. That was like fucking everything, mixtapes. What do we have today like that? It's like the kids don't get to fucking flex these like tapes, you know? I
mean, they just turn on their phones and they like.
But getting to interview you cats now, like all of you guys started with this fucking mixtape game.
Yeah, the mixtape game was huge.
And just like street teaming it and like getting your name out and stuff. And so who opened what door for you where you got to...
It was actually DJ Sus One. It was funny. I went on a date with this girl to the movies and I bumped into him at the movie theater. He was also on the date. And I just remembered he was like he was the DJ. And I remember I'd borrowed records from him at some point in time. So I told him I'm back in town, I'm DJing. And he's like, perfect. I actually have a gig tomorrow and I need somebody to play reggae. He said, can you do it? I was like, yeah, like of course, of course I can do it. Listen, I wasn't saying no. So I mean, I knew reggae, but I'd have to use his vinyl, and I literally opened for him from that point on to like for like a couple of years.
Wow.
Because he was DJing pretty much every weekend, like three to four nights.
And where was he at? What were some of these rooms? Do you remember?
It was a lot of parties in like in New Rochelle, like Club Deep, Club Hollywood was a big one. And I mean, those were his residencies each week. So I was there. I was with him pretty much every week doing that. But I was also going down into the city just to clubs. I was going to all the Black Diamonds parties.
Okay.
I was going to Suede.
Sick.
I was going to a spa. Like places, clubs like that. And then I kept coming back and telling him about all these parties in the city. He's like, we got to play down there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We got to get to the big.
Yeah, because
big
in New Rochelle, it's like 18 to party, 21 to drink. It's like, it's all hip hop and R&B, which is dope. You know,
that's so cool. I think I'd hear it on the radio. They'd be like, come on, you know, tonight, New Rochelle.
Like the club, I mean, the music's amazing. Like, it's like, you know, hearing Usher and Busta Rhymes and all that. But I would go down to like the city and you'd hear like Britney Spears' Slave. And then you may hear like AC/DC, then you'd hear like Jay-Z. It's like the
mix.
The mix of music really was what it was for me because, again, I loved everything. I wanted to be able to play all these records.
Yeah,
you know? I hate being like put into a box.
For sure,
it gets boring after a while.
Of course,
you know?
I mean, I see you play all the time, man, and you're a beast, and you go all over. You take us all over.
And I was actually obsessed with that because when the first one I heard was like either Goldfinger or Mark Ronson just doing that, and I was like. Yo, this is cool. Like, like celebrities here and shit. Like, I want to do this. Like, you know. Right. So I kept telling him about that, and then we ended up getting hired by Derek Corley to just do some to DJ a Black Diamonds party.
Okay.
And that's kind of how my introduction.
And what kind of party or what? I don't know those parties. What's the Black Diamond party? It's hip hop, right? A hip hop and R&B kind of shit.
Like the Funky Buddha.
The Funky Buddha, I do know that.
Or Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
Planet Hollywood party they used to do, or BB King's.
Yes, I remember BB King's.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's
okay,
like
got
if
it.
you hear if you listen to like Foxy Brown, what's the song? Like Stylin', when she talks about Halo and all that, and like.
Oh right, I remember Halo.
Or just bumping into Killer Cam at the what's it called? Yeah, but a lot of rappers started referencing like those parties.
Sick. Okay.
You know.
So you got invited to spend.
So So I started DJing those parties, and then through that I met Voodoo Ray. You know, rest in peace, famous dancer, and like also club promoter in the city. And he hired me for my first residency at Luan.
Oh shit, I remember that.
Yeah, Luan.
I remember that spot. Wait, I can't remember what street it was on.
Luan was on 5th Avenue and like, I want to say like 13th Street.
Yeah, I remember that name. I have not heard that in so long.
And I was excited because I was like, Jay-Z mentioned that in a record.
Yeah,
like,
exactly, exactly. Oh my God. So what were those rooms like? What was that like for you?
Honestly, those are the first, that room was honestly, those rooms were the first rooms I was able to actually just do what I wanted to do, like play what I wanted to play, because Voodoo Ray, his whole like crowd was a lot of dancers. There's people like Beverly Bond and like, but also like Maxwell will come through. Those kind of people would come through, and so they wanted me to play everything from like Little John to like Michael Jackson, Prince, some rock. You know, just mix it up.
Yeah, and.
I mean, so it forced me to like, you know, so I had to like, you know, obviously like get all the records and like, you know, make sure I had everything. So it was fun.
And you're learning about like how to move a room,
Exactly. And you have, and there are a lot of dancers, like, professional dancers there. So like it was a dance, the crowd danced. So it was just cool to just be able to like really like incorporate like break beats and all that, you know what I'm saying? So it was a real, like I was a resident at Ray's parties for like years. And that kind of really like just helped me hold my skills and be able to like really know how to like switch things up and like,
just move the crowd.
Exactly, move a crowd.
Move the crowd. What do you think's like shifted the most from that time to what you do now? I mean, you've had such a long career.
I think that, honestly, I feel like it's people's knowledge of music and DJs like not being afraid. DJs not being afraid to take chances. I think that like a lot of people just, listen, you can play a party and just play all the hits.
Right.
And get by.
Sure.
Easily. You can do that. But to be able to take risks and really just kind of get into a flow state and just play what you feel.
Yeah. I see you do that.
And sometimes you have to like, you just kind of have to trust yourself, and you have to also just know the music and like really love the music and also love this, just see how just understand how it makes people, how it makes people feel. Like it's like, again, it's like a feeling. You could feel where you can take the crowd.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like some of my best friends I've made, some of the best times I've ever had have been on a dance floor, and like what comes from that, it's
exactly.
Such a good feeling when a DJ just moves you,
Yeah.
And what is it like then to like are celebrity crowds different? I mean, you're like so well known in terms of being able to rock like the Oscars. So like what does that demand? Or they're just people really, and it's the same shit. They want the same.
Yeah, to me, it's at the end of the day, to me, it's just people.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't like honestly like can't picture or even remember seeing like a certain celebrity like dancing at a party that I'm at. I know they're there, but I'm just like, to me, they're people. Right. And like honestly, like if for a lot of like celebrities and artists, I really feel like they understand their knowledge of music is deeper, and they're more likely to like things that you wouldn't expect them to like.
Right. Yeah.
They don't want to hear the top 40 hits.
Right. Exactly. How are you finding music these days? Like, what do you do? Like, I just interviewed another DJ, and she's like, "Oh, I love taking requests because the young cats come up to me and they're like, 'Can you play this and this?'" And so she's learning.
I actually screenshot requests.
Okay.
Because I may not play them at the moment. Because to me, if I don't know the song, it's like I have to listen to it before I can incorporate it into a set. Like,
of course.
Unless it's your birthday and you want to play the record right now and you've hired me, yes, I'll drop the record.
That's a different thing, right?
But I always screenshot the records just so I could know and just go back later and listen to them.
Right. And when you back in the day when you were first starting like and buying records and stuff, what were you looking for versus like? I was going anytime, even when I wasn't playing, I would go out and listen to DJs. Okay.
Like that's really how I would learn about music and just see what records like were moving people.
Mm-hmm. So who was inspiring you then? Obviously the cats who gave you some opportunities.
Yeah, but I would listen to I would go to APT on Wednesday nights, listen to Rich Medina.
Oh wow.
I was there every Wednesday for like years.
Right. That was a huge part.
Standing right next to him in the booth, just like kind of like, what's that?
Right.
I have a photo. I have a photo with Rich with dreads and me like staying in the booth like this.
Right. So cute. So you're observing and you're learning and you're soaking it up. How does it make you feel now when people are standing by you when you're DJing?
I don't mind that at all.
You don't mind
I don't mind it at all because I knew I was that person. You know? Like I remember seeing Questlove at Lotus when he was playing, and like just being like, wow,
right?
Like just seeing where he was taking the crowd, and like he's playing like I remember he dropped Maxwell, Don't Ever Wonder in the middle of the party, and like I was like, I would open with this thing, and he's like, and literally it crushed the whole night. I was like, wow, like just seeing like where you can take a crowd, and honestly, that's really what it is for me, like playing things that are unexpected. Yeah. And like making people be like, wow, I can't believe you played that,
Yeah. What still makes you want to give it your all then? I mean, you've played for so long, and anytime I see you, I'm imagining on your rider you got a stack of towels because you break a sweat, kid, in those parties. And so you are giving 10,000% when I've seen you or when you've played at Friends from New York. And so I don't know, like, how do you?
Well, I
pivot
sweat a
so
lot in
much?
general. Like I played
I'm not
basketball at
talking
Stepinac High
about
School.
sweating
Like,
that way. I'm seeing that you give everything you got. And how do you still come with so much energy and fire after all these years?
I'll be honest, music. It just DJing. Just I don't know. Just it's like my therapy almost. Like once like before a gig, I have anxiety. So before a gig, I'm always like, oh my god, I got to work tonight, and oh my lord, I don't want to do this, and my wife always laughs because my wife's a DJ, also DJ Kiss, and she always laughs because she's like, baby, shut the fuck up. You're gonna get there. You're gonna start DJing, and they're gonna have to pull you off the fucking table.
You're in your happy place.
The security is gonna be like, yo, we're locking up. Can you stop?
Can you please stop?
But yeah, it's when I get on, it's like it's like I'm at home. Like I'm at peace. It's like I love playing music for people.
Right.
It's just I don't know. It's the weird thing. It's what I like to do.
I can see it. I see it, and you're just so. Like you're in your happy place.
I've produced music. I've dabbled in production. I'm still working on it. But playing music for people is just what I love to do. So it's like
nice.
So when I get up there, it's just watching how the people react to songs.
Yeah,
I love it. It's just
What do you want people to be doing right now out there? Is there anything that you're like wish cats on the dance floor would be doing, or like?
Well, I just I would hope that people now we have Spotify and all this access to everything.
Yeah,
just to start to listen to everything.
Yeah,
and start to really because the more knowledgeable the crowd is, the better it's easier it is for a DJ to kind of what I'm saying,
take you on a journey.
Take you on a journey
because they're into it. They're into the story you're providing.
Or I would like people to just trust the DJ and allow them to take them on a journey.
Right.
Because then, they'll be more likely to have a good time.
Yeah. And you spin everywhere. I mean, you're an LA cat now. So what's the LA crowd?
Moving back.
Oh shit. You guys are all moving back. I know it.
Well, every city I feel like has their, culture. So like in Miami, it's based in Miami bass, and it's it's Latin culture, glorious stuff on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
In LA, to me, was heavily rock and roll, like at the Sunset Strip, and all those classic venues that had the Doors and
Whiskey a Go-Go,
and like the Beach Boys, and then
Viper
obviously
Room.
DJ AM, and
Yes,
that whole legacy. So. But then also there's this huge DJ culture with the Beat Junkies and those guys out there,
So
when I get to LA, it's again, LA had a movement where a lot of New Yorkers moved out there. So the nightlife really was popping back in 2016, 2015 when I moved out there.
I agree.
But I don't know. I think that LA post COVID is kind of most cities is taking a hit,
Right. I think things have changed.
It definitely changed. It's definitely very commercial, in a lot of spaces. But then also DJs have taken over and really started throwing their own events.
Okay.
Which is really kind of brought a breath of fresh air to nightlife in LA. So there are a lot of my boy DJ Ari Hall. DJ Momo has brought everyday people there a bunch of times.
Yeah.
There are a ton of DJs doing their own thing out there, and so you have these younger DJs that are just creating their own kind of mashups and kind of it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting out there. So, but what I love more about New York is that New York has roots in nightlife. Nightlife is kind of their culture, you know what I mean? That's kind of how, all these genres of music even came to exist. If there wasn't CBGBs or Studio 54 or Paradise Garage, you would have house music or new wave or rock or whatever. So, so that's what I love about New York. LA is kind of I feel like it's kind of developing its kind of roots in that now. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think each city has its way that it moves and the way that a DJ moves and the crowds. Sometimes I find that they're not dancing as much in LA, but
you do find that a lot. But I've noticed that again, I started DJing some parties with these younger DJs who are playing for like young kids who grew up in LA, and like there's there's specific music and specific things that they listen to coming up.
I like
that I have no knowledge of.
Yeah.
I would sit and listen to these guys DJ, and I'm like, I don't recognize any of this music.
That's sick. I mean, that's a question.
These records.
Yeah.
So
what are the young kids?
I would have to sit there and study. I'd have to go out and check out these guys and like, just kind of learn the music, which was fun.
That's great.
Fun and frustrating at the same time.
Yeah, totally. But you got to stay relevant too. So it's like, and you want to keep your ear to the street. It's like, what do you do about going out to like who to champion, who to get into, who to, like how are you finding music?
Like I'm a humble person. Like, so like, I'm like, I know I've been doing this a long time, and when these kids are like younger than me, but I'm like, look, I have something to learn. So I would go out and listen to them play, and I would hit them up. Hey, what was that joint? What was that record? Hey,
great.
And they would help me out.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And do you miss playing vinyl at all, or are you like happy to not lug around those records? You still got all your records?
I still have records in storage.
Yeah,
I do. We've been approached to do a couple of vinyl parties, so I'm thinking about it because my back is not like it's not. I
was gonna say you got to lug that shit around.
That's a lot.
Like now it's all like Serato and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I used to carry like a lot of crates of records, so again, I like to have everything at so once I got Serato, I was like, oh my goodness, like I have everything.
It is. It's pretty amazing.
But yeah, it was a very, very hard, like lugging records back and forth.
Oh my God, totally. It's so different. I mean, I'm happy that it's easier for you for sure, but it's cool, or it's wild to think like kids have never seen like people spin records. So
yeah, but like there's a whole vinyl movement now. So like, I guess someone said that the vinyl industry, I think, made $1 billion last year.
Oh wow, it's
like vinyl sales have been skyrocketing.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because you have like the Record Room here in LA, in New York, where like they have a bunch of vinyl parties, and the kids have been going to like a lot of vinyl parties because again, it's if vinyl forces you to play a record longer.
Yeah, exactly.
So like people are like actually listening to the music. You can't quick mixing out of stuff, and there's just something about that.
Yeah. It's good.
It's great. It's good.
Talk to me about, why going out dancing or going out and partying is important. I think maybe sometimes these kids don't know that it's like cool to go out still. Like, why is it important to go out and go dancing?
Because I think dancing, it's therapeutic. Like when you really get into the music and you just kind of like get lost in it, it's a form of like meditation. Like, with all the things that are going on in the world, all the stress of the work week and like your baby mama and your bills and like, your midterms, whatever is going on in your life, you have the opportunity to go out and just kind of just release that stress. And I think that's really important, because stress is a killer.
It is. It's the worst. And I think we're just so bombarded with so much stress.
And it keeps you young.
It keeps you young. I know, right? Is that why we look so good?
I fully believe that's why we look so good. I fully believe that. I think that going out and doing that, I think it's healthy. And I think, and also if it builds community. That's another thing that's really important. Like you go out to a club and you're a regular, you start to meet everybody, you start to see the same people, and you become part of a community. And there's nothing. I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't go out and like hang out at nightclubs. Like you become part of this nightlife culture. Yeah. And even to this day, there are people that I met back in 2002 that I'm still friends with from nightlife. Yeah. That I still see out, Yeah.
I think connecting over music is like, makes you have a connection to people that you're like, oh, we're the same. We like the same music, so we can relate to each other.
Yeah, and we like to hang out till 5 a.m. and like it's like you just become part of this like subculture of people that like we're in the know of this kind of like, remember this place, remember going, so I think that's it's a special thing. And again, and also there's a legacy. Like you look at like, again, the Studio 54s and like the Basquiats and like the Warhols, all these people that used to hang out together and become friends and kind of created like what we today know as a culture.
Exactly.
You can't
create culture if you're not getting inspired by other
Exactly.
inspiring, creative people.
Yeah.
I think so much about nightlife is that. It's just like, oh my
Exactly.
God, look at this person that dresses wild, and look at this person that acts wild or dances wild or feels things passionately. Like, I want to work with them. I want to make something with them.
And you see the old photographs from different, like, from nightlife back in like the 80s and 90s and stuff. You see all these different people together, and you're like, wow, that's crazy. Like, those people, like, they actually like met here or whatever. So
Right. They're like chilling, having a drink.
Yeah, there's something to
dance
that.
floor. There is something to that. Is there like a hope or like an idea of what you see nightlife like, you know, in like the next 5-10 years looking like or becoming? Or
I think I think there is a cycle, you know? Like, I think, you know, we go through eras, you know? Like I said, when I was really started like really going out, I remember reading articles about Richie Keevan and like Just Ski and those guys, and being like, oh my God, those guys are so cool. And next thing I know, I'm playing it. I'm DJing at Butter.
Yeah.
And I'm DJing at Just Ski, and I'm DJing at One Oak. Like, I'm like, okay, these are the guys that I was reading about. And like,
Right.
now I'm like the young kid coming in.
Yeah.
And then we had our era with like the stereos and 10 Junes and Live. And that era is kind of like, you know, starting to, I mean, Live is still going strong. Shout out to Dave Grubbin.
Yeah.
David called up like, right, what? I'm joking. So what? So yeah, you had Lives and those big nightclubs, and then now we're into like, I guess what, members clubs and like DJ driven parties. So like,
Right.
you know, this era is this, you know, and you know, if you know, I would say to any kid that's presently, you know, in this, in the game, like,
Yeah.
appreciate the moments,
Right.
like really live in the moment, because one day you'll wake up and you'll be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah.
Because I literally look up, I'm like, oh wait, 14th Street and 9th. It's like it's not a place anymore.
You know, you're like, wait, it's all these just super tall buildings.
I was out there. I was on 14th and 9th on a Saturday night at like 11 o'clock for some reason, and I just looked around and it was like a ghost town.
Yeah.
And I said, I remember when this was like South Beach on like a Saturday. I remember this was like literally Collins Ave on a Saturday night, like packed bars and like.
Yeah.
Clubs and all that is zero. None of them.
It's weird. I mean, nightlife in Manhattan, I think, especially, has just been so struggling. You know,
Yeah.
like the kids they live in Brooklyn, they go out in Brooklyn, the party scene's Brooklyn. I think shit's alive and well, but that's why I try to champion the city, because, like,
Yeah.
when I was coming up and growing up, Manhattan was it. Like,
Well,
there was
know,
nothing better than
I
New
think
York
it's because
City.
like rent and, you know, the price.
Yeah.
It wasn't that expensive to us, like, to have a space and like.
Of course, it's just totally changed
Yeah, it's
nightlife
totally
in that
changed.
sense. It's like you have to go out in Brooklyn and stuff. Is there any place that you still want to play, or is there anything you got any bucket list?
Bucket
ideas
list
for you?
bucket list.
Anything you still need to do, or anything? I guess just like looking back at your own legacy, like, you know, what you want to be remembered for, and.
You know, I want to be remembered. You know what? I've always been obsessed with, like, again, legacy in this culture. Like, I, you know, looked up to, like, I never got the chance to hear Larry Levan play.
Oh, wow.
You know, always been a fan of Funkmaster Flex, Clark Kent, you know, Mark Ronson, AM, those guys.
Yeah.
I honestly want to be remembered as somebody that just did his thing during his era, and like an amazing DJ, and like, you know, that's
Yeah.
it.
Made the
honestly.
people
Made the
move.
people, yeah.
Yeah, that's the best. I
Yeah,
love
when they
that.
do like a VH1, VH1 doesn't exist anymore, but when they do a documentary about nightlife, I would-
Yeah, you're in it, B. You're in the books. Are you crazy? MOS. He gives 10,000%.
I just want to be one of the talking heads and be like, yeah, remember back in like the 2000s, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Totally. I mean, listen, I'm so honored to have had you spin Friends from New York.
That's one
You're
of my
going to be
favorite
spinning
parties.
more Friends from New Yorks. Like, I need you.
to play. Yeah, I would like to play some.
Yes, you will. I need it. And it's just so important, I think, for us to just keep creating culture for people and reason to go out and have a good time and, you know, fucking flaunt your freak flag and be a nut job. You know, it's
Exactly.
like, it's what we're here to do, is to like bring joy to people. And that's
think
what you
so, too.
do. So,
Yeah.
well, I'm just so glad I got to have you today. When you are like closing out a night, or like the room's stuffy or confused, is there like a go-to track or record that you could throw on and the heads just go like, what's your go-to? What's a secret weapon that you can share?
Secret weapon. That's a very good question.
What's a go-to song that's just going to reset the room?
Reset the room.
And get you to, come on, people, get back on track. Do what I say.
Okay, a reset, it depends on the crowd, but
Right.
let me think of a universal reset record.
Okay,
this is generic. I'll give you a generic one, and then I'll just give you one that I would just throw on because this is how I'm feeling right now. The Michael Jackson, either Michael Jackson, Don't Stop You Get Enough, or Off the Wall.
It honestly is in my top 5 favorite ever.
Yeah.
It's Michael Jackson.
But Off the Wall is the one. If you play that and the crowd is fucking with it, then it's gonna be a good night. From that point on,
Right.
open season.
Yeah.
I love Stevie Wonder. All I Do as a record to end the night.
Oh, it's the best.
It's just something about that record. It just feels like, all right, this is
Yeah.
go home happy.
Right. Oh, that's so
On
good.
a high note. So yeah.
And what do you love to see out there every night? What still gives you a rush about spinning?
It's it's right now it's playing a record that I would not expect a crowd to enjoy, and seeing them go crazy, seeing them really
Let loose.
singing the song or whatever, and it just really that's what keeps me going. I was at Paul's Casablanca, which I play at a lot, and I remember I just dropped David Bowie Rebel Rebel, and in the midst of the night, and it was just I just saw these kids jumping around. I was like, oh my goodness, this is okay, no. There's no quitting. I'm here for another 20 years.
Oh my God, I love to hear that. And there is something, you're reading a room and a crowd and what they need because obviously we know that song and you could play that at any time, but it's the artistry of what you do, of knowing when, I'm going to just drop this on you. And
and it's
make
to me, it's
crazy.
okay, to me, it's all right, where would you have, you're 20 years old, where would you have heard this song? In the last 10 years, I'm just thinking, it's not the radio, but just the fact that they like it, it's just okay, great. This is,
Yeah.
Nightlife is still alive.
I hope so. I thank God. Lastly, what has New York taught you about taste and style and just how you move through the world? How are you always a New Yorker in your heart?
New York has taught me, first of all, New York's taught me hustle. It's taught me how to grind. It's taught me, that taste can come from anywhere. There could be the bum on the street could have probably has better stories and more taste than you will ever have in your life.
Honestly.
And it's taught me that, I know we walk around the city kind of tunnel vision, but sometimes talk to everybody, listen to everybody's story because everyone has a story and it's probably more interesting than yours.
Totally.
And you will learn something.
Yeah. A stylist friend of mine, she always talks about, she's homeless cats in New York have more style in their fucking pinky than anybody I've dressed top celeb, whatever. If you pay attention and you see some of these homeless cats, just
some of them have just
they just know how to put it together.
Some of them in their era were the the ones that just burned out fast. You know,
that's something like that happened. Yeah, exactly.
So
that's how you're always a New Yorker then.
Yeah, I'm just I love the city. The city it makes me feel alive, Every time I come down to the city, it doesn't matter if I'm tired or whatever time of night, I am literally okay, here I am. I'm here.
Right. Good. Okay, good. Well, I hope we get you back for good then one day. And
yeah, hopefully so.
And I hope to see you on the dance floor. And yeah, I'm just so happy that I got to have you. Do you mind introducing yourself one more time and saying that you're a friend from New York? You can do it to the camera.
Hi, I'm DJ MOS, and I'm a friend from New York.